Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our called meeting of Monday, April the 4th. I will call this meeting to order, and I need an approval of the agenda, please.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Guthrie. Do you have a second? Second by Mr. Mitchum. Any discussion? All in favor? 7-0. Okay, I'm going to need a motion to go into executive session for personnel matter regarding the search for the new superintendent. Motion made by Ms. Crosby. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Farnsworth. Any discussion? All in favor? 7-0. And we will be returning after the executive session for any action that's needed. Okay, I need a motion to go back into open session.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Guthrie. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Robinson. Any discussion? All in favor? 7-0.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion, since we are back in open session. I move that we postpone the vote for superintendent until such a time that the community is able to inspect the survey results and comments.
Okay, I have a motion on the table. Do I have a second? Okay, I have a motion and a second. Motion made by Mr. Mitchum, seconded by Ms. Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth, any discussion? All in favor? Okay, 2 in favor. All opposed? 5 opposed. Okay, the motion fails. Okay, I have a statement that I wanted to read just to basically go over our process. Tonight is a historical event in our school district for several reasons. First, we've had Mr. Joseph Pye, our current superintendent, lead the district for 22 years. This is an anomaly, and we have certainly been blessed by his vision and leadership. Upon his request for retirement in November of 2021, the Board of Trustees began their process for a new superintendent. The second historical event for DD2 was to hire an experienced executive search team to guide us through a nationwide process to find the best candidates who could lead our district. This search team came to our district holding multiple meetings with stakeholders and community members at various schools. The purpose for this was to gather input from all stakeholders regarding what they wanted to see in the next superintendent. They gathered all the input and began background checks along with phone interviews for all 19 applicants. Even though the search team provided 9 applicants they felt would fit in our district, we requested as a board that we see all 19 applications for ourselves in order to feel that we had been very thorough. After many hours of studying the applicants in executive session, we all felt comfortable narrowing it down to 9 semifinalists. Our search team then looked at the 9 semifinalists we identified and sent a request to them for a 3 to 5 minute video. Again, there were very long meetings taking hours to review, discuss, and reread the applications. Over a period of 3 days, the 9 semifinalists were interviewed by the full board. We were impressed with all 9, but in our minds, we wanted to be sure whoever was going to serve as our next superintendent would fit into our culture, love our children, be supportive of our teachers, and continue to move the district forward. The 3 finalists' names were announced, and plans were underway for them to come in person and visit our district for the day. They arrived early and met with stakeholder groups, teachers, district personnel, principals, as well as visiting 3 schools each. They ended their day with a community meet and greet and went into executive session for their final interview. Following the day in the district, a survey was made available by the search team to all DD2 stakeholders. This survey was one piece of all the input we considered in making our selection as to who would be our choice for superintendent. The following week, all 3 finalists were invited to come to the district boardroom to present their 45-day plan. Again, the search team provided a second survey to go out to the public to share their opinions after listening to the 45-day plans. With both surveys going out to over 20,000 people, less than 5% responded. After considering all the information we have received on all 3 of these extraordinary and accomplished candidates and discussion for hours in executive session, it is now time to name our new superintendent to lead us into our future. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we authorize the board chair to execute an employment contract with Dr. William Shane Robbins as superintendent of Dorchester County School District 2, effective July 1, 2020. Said contract having been prepared by the district's attorneys and reviewed by all members of the Dorchester County School 2 Board of Trustees, and provides for a term of employment through June 30th, 2025 at an annual salary of $210,000.
I have a motion on the floor.
Second.
By Ms. Crosby and a second by Mr. Guthrie. Any discussion? Mr. Mitchum?
Madam Chair, I know my motion failed by this board earlier regarding the release of the survey results, but I did calculate that there were nearly 2,100 responses, which I'm not sure what the percentages are that you used, and it's neither here nor there. I hope that we as a board consider the fact when we do a survey next time that we are more transparent than what we were this time. There's a lot of comments, there's a lot of feedback. We've had numerous meetings with district staff folks, including teachers and administrators, and there are concerns. There are just a lot of issues that I feel I can't get comfortable with, and I know that the community put its full faith in us by, those that participated in the survey, I think participated in good faith. And I know there's been several FOIA requests, and that FOIA request is, we have a 10-day minimum and we can respond in 30 days. And, I just think that that information would be beneficial to some folks that are involved, us as well. We haven't seen all the comments from the second survey. That's all I have for right now.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchum. Any other comments? Mr. Farnsworth?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to give some of my thoughts. As we hire our next superintendent, I will start here, and I hope everybody understands that this decision, to put it very lightly, is probably the most important decision our board and our district has faced in decades. Without a shadow of a doubt, that the person that we put into this post is going to directly impact thousands of lives. It includes our students, includes our educators, our district family, and our community. And again, the gravity of this decision that we make here right now in the next several minutes really cannot be overstated. And so I want to make sure that we understand, every facet, every angle, every piece of information that we have to look at as board members to be in these seats. It's got to be thoroughly vetted. We've got to make sure we understand it, because we have to make the absolute best decision possible. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. There's too much important writing on the line. So I will say this, and I want to be very, very clear for my stance on Dr. Robbins. As a veteran, I respect his service to our country. There is no question that I respect his service to our country. I respect his leadership roles. And I respect the fact that he applied to be in one of the most prestigious, one of the best school districts in the state of South Carolina. I'm going to tell you, I would tell you I think Dr. Robbins is a good guy. None of what I'm about to say negates the fact that I think Dr. Robbins is a good guy. But I have to say this, my job as a school board member, it's not to just look at those aspects, but my job is to look at a much bigger picture. I've got to determine, and so I didn't even say we, I've got to determine, because I look at this, my seat. This is my seat, my vote. I've got to determine, is this person a good fit from everything I know, from everything that I've gotten in my 41 years on this earth, from the people that I speak with, from all the community groups, all the teacher groups, everybody that's out there, I have got to know that this person will be a good fit for Dorchester District 2. Here my lens, my optics for what I'm looking for in a superintendent, I'm going to boil it down. It's really, really pretty simple. I want someone who's going to take us from here, and they're going to take us to here. That's it. Very simple. I want someone who's going to take a high-performing district that is here and go to here. I'm going to be pretty open. I'm going to be transparent in saying I've heard a lot of the concerns Mr. Mitchum mentioned. There are concerns. There are red flags for the potential hiring of Dr. Robbins. Okay. We see that. We acknowledge that fact. Again, those concerns were brought to us via community input, speaking with our amazing our educators. And again, there are others from around the state that I've spoken with that I have immense respect for to come to the conclusion that I've come to. again, I want to be very clear when I say this. I can get past every single one of those concerns. I can get past the concerns. I can get past the red flags if, in my heart of hearts, I feel that that person is going to take us from here to here. 1,000%. I would put my support behind them. I will raise my hand and I will vote for them. I can get past every single one of these pieces of information. But there's a but. There had better be a rock solid, I am talking rock solid, does not change, rock solid track record of taking the performance level of a high-performing school district from here to here. If I'm going to raise my hand and vote for that person, they had better go from here to here. So I searched, I did all the digging I could, I asked questions. I genuinely, I want to see if this person will make that transition for Dorchester District 2 to the next level. Again, you know, we talked about graduation rates. Graduation rates, career readiness scores. Why did I hone in on that information, right? I honed in on that information because when you look at comparison data, when you are trying to do an apples to apples comparison, right, between any district, there's not a whole lot, the honest answer is there's not a whole lot of data, there's not a whole lot of metrics that exist in the education world that are apples to apples. Graduation rates are apples to apples. College and career readiness are apples to apples. So when I look at what we've done as a district, every single year, Dorchester District 2, for the past 4 years, graduation rate has gone up every single year. I would question, and no offense to my friends in Kershaw, but I would question my friends in Kershaw when their graduation rate went down and then it stayed the same. Again, if I don't have that rock solid track record of performance to take a school district from here to here, I can't in good faith move forward with that. College and career readiness is the same. I want to be very clear because there's some information. When you look at things like SC Ready, when you look at EOC test scores, when you look at state rankings, I want people to understand, I need people to understand the reason that I did not use that information is because it is not an apples to apples comparison, right? For the past year, for COVID, there were waivers, there were all sorts of exceptions that could be granted by the state. So it's not an apples to apples comparison. To say that we went down to number 16 without the caveat, by the way, Dorchester District 2 tested every single same one of our students that we've tested every year in the past, that's a concern. And whether you want to believe that or not, that's not an apples to apples comparison. So again, that's why I look at graduation rates, I look at things like college and career metrics. Here's the last piece, and this one I think is to me, this was fairly significant. You know, and this whole process has led up, it's been a months-long process, and over the weekend, I think we all started to see emails. There were some emails that had concerns about the fine arts program in Kershaw. I will be the first to tell you, I do not know. I'm not here to opine whether the fine arts program in Kershaw is booming or it's a bust. I don't know, okay? What I would tell you is this. When that concern came up to me, I started, the light bulb went off and I said, hey, I don't know that anybody's really looked into the financials of Kershaw County. If we're looking at Dr. Robbins and he is the CEO, if he is the top guy in Kershaw County, and I start digging into their financial reports and I see things like significant discrepancies. This is the past 2 years of financial audit reports. Significant discrepancies. I see things like the question on an audit report says, is this district a low-risk auditee? When the answer to that is no, that raises some red flags. I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I can get over that. I say it because it's a red flag. Is it a concern? Yes. I can get over it if somebody is going to take us from here and they're going to take us to here. The financial audit reports, that is factual information. That's not hearsay. You can go look it up. It's right on Kershaw's Kershaw County School District's website, so it's out there. That's a major concern. And again, if folks don't want to think of that as a concern, that's fine. For me personally, for my vote, it's a concern. I will finish with this. At the end of the day, I have to do what I feel is right. In my heart of hearts, I have to be able to lay my head on the pillow at night knowing that I did what's best for students, for educators, and our community. Unfortunately, I can't in good conscience place my vote for Dr. Robbins this evening. I genuinely hope, and I mean it, if the board proceeds with Dr. Robbins as our next superintendent, I hope he is able to prove me wrong. This decision right now that we're about to raise our hands on, this decision, I hope he proves me wrong, because it's too important if he proves me right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farnsworth. Do we have any other comments?
I would like to just make a few comments. We kept receiving emails, and we were receiving good and bad on all three. It wasn't just one. We would receive good comments and negative comments, and so I tried to take that into consideration, but we noticed that we were receiving the same 4 or 5 concerns, rumors, hearsays, whatever you have, but it made me feel in my heart I needed to follow through. I called my peer, who was the vice chairman of Kershaw County, and I told her I knew that this was very awkward, that she knew that Dr. Robbins had put his hat in the ring and that we had had some amazing 19 candidates. We had narrowed it down to 3 that we felt were truly cream of the crop. I said, this isn't a gotcha because I'm trying to find out. It's really, I want to know the truth. If they're not rumors and they're truth, please tell me, and if just whatever you feel. So she said to me, and I wrote it down as she said it because I wanted to do it verbatim. Her name was Miss Shirley Halley. She's been on the board for 12 years. She says, we are not happy about him leaving us, but we understand most superintendents these days only stay 4 to 5 years, and he wanted to find a strong district where he could grow. And so it did make me feel that they didn't want him to go, and they understood what we had is an anomaly. She said, Ms. Robinson, I have been on the board for 12 years. Dr. Robbins is the strongest superintendent I've worked with. I have sat shoulder to shoulder with him. He has a servant's heart and is a servant leader. Then I asked her about another rumor that bothered me, and I think it bothered everybody, that he didn't live in the district. And in our district, you do need to live in our district. And I had read in their policies that they, too, said you need to live in their district. So I asked her, how did you feel about him not living in the district? She said the entire board understood his situation. He had bought a home in Camden, but decided to get a retirement home in Myrtle Beach to bring his elderly parents down and to one day retire in. So he did get an apartment that was just outside of Kershaw County. We were absolutely fine with his living arrangements. So I thought, okay, so that was okay with their board. The other thing that we had heard, that he didn't go to work every day because he lives so far from the district office. I said, I just wonder if that's true, and if it is, could you explain why? She said he was at work every day. He attended many weekend events. He always told all of the board if he was going to be out for the day. He sent us a memo every day and again every week. He missed to attend conferences or superintendent workshops. He absolutely did not miss work. So I thought, okay, that helped me know that that wasn't correct. Then she said, let me say this. He always made decisions based on children and then teachers. He encouraged teachers to attend conferences. He supported the board with their attending conferences and went with them. She said, from your question, it appears you are hearing from disgruntled people who may not have gotten something that they thought they should have. He made a decision that they may have not liked. But when you have 11,000 students and 1,700 employees, it will be impossible to make everyone happy. It sounds like rumors are being spread because they heard it through the grapevine. We'll take that with a grain of salt. Well, then I said, well, tell me what you think because of him, how your district has improved. She said, because of him, we came through COVID much better than most South Carolina districts. He got us through a tornado, destroying a huge facility, and then negotiated with a testy insurance company. This man is as credible as they come. I thanked her for that, and I said, I have one more thing. I am being told, and others, that he is militaristic. She said he is not militaristic, but he does expect the job to get done right. That is why he hired him, and it has worked. And then I said, there's another thing that bothers me because I was a K-4 teacher, and I guess I get emotional about little children. I think a lot of kindergarten and elementary education folks do. I said, he kept using a reference, facts over feelings. And she started laughing, and she goes, oh, he says that all the time, but he is as soft as a teddy bear unless he is lied to. She said, the questions you are asking, I can only answer for just me, but I can assure you every one of us love Dr. Robbins and wish he would not leave us, but hope you will all see his great abilities. If not, we want him back. This helped me dismiss rumors that we were all hearing. I know y'all were hearing them too. So for me, it put him back on the playing field. Another thing that we had heard was that he changed jobs a lot. He had 4 different jobs, but they all were jobs that were like promotions. And another candidate had also had quite a few lateral jobs, moving from middle school to middle school to middle school, like 2 years, 2 years, 4 years. And then he received a 6-year and a 4-year and a 2-year. So I don't fault anybody for that. If they think they are enjoying it or can do better, I can't base a decision on somebody moves because that was happening with another cream of the crop candidate too. So I say from my heart that after listening to her and looking and studying and praying, that I felt a lot of the misnomers, the misunderstandings, it answered to my heart and I felt at peace. So I just wanted to share that, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Ms. Crosby?
Excuse me. All right, let me be the devil's advocate here. To begin with, no one is perfect. We could have interviewed 19 or 900. No one is perfect. Everybody has faults, and you can find some kind of discrepancy in every one of them, somewhere, somehow. The part that Justin mentioned about the findings or whatever in the budget, he only checked Robbins. He didn't bother to check the other 2. That's not comparing apples to apples. And the people he talked to, he didn't give us any names. He wouldn't give the names to us of who he had talked to. So did he talk to somebody? I don't know. All candidates were researched, and I mean researched, not by us, but by the people that we hired to do this search. I mean, they were the ones that we had to go through because everything had to be so confidential. We were just told, you can't even give a peep out here. Don't even go home and talk to your husband or wife about it. It has to be kept strictly confidential. So that's what we took it as. Well, some things that went on in executive sessions have been leaked out to some of y'all. Don't know who. I wish I did. All comments you do understand what a survey is? We didn't even have to do the survey. We did the survey in hopes that it would give y'all the opportunity to state your feelings or what you felt. We have not gotten the comments back on the second survey yet. Those haven't even come back to us. We got those numbers, but we did not get the comments yet. So I don't care if those comments were all against Robbins or all for Robbins. The point being is, it's kind of y'all, it seems like y'all have aimed one way based on hearsay and rumors. Those are not facts. What we have, a lot of it is not privy to you, but what we have is facts. And I'm sorry that some of y'all felt like that y'all had to go throughout the district sharing your negative comments about an individual that is professional. I know that for a fact. And as far as numbers of jobs, Justin's had 4 jobs since he's been on here. So, I mean, people have different
Madam
jobs.
Chair, point of order, we're told not to talk to other board members. We talk to the board.
They switch jobs.
Madam
as
Chair,
they
point
do.
of order.
And then,
Ms. Crosby, you're going to have to refrain from calling names of board members and referring to
excuse
board
me,
members, please.
sorry, I apologize for that. I apologize. But what I'm trying to say is, all those apples were not in the same basket, and they were not researched by individuals. They were researched by the people that were doing the search committee. And then some of us stepped out and reached out, just like Tanya said she did, and we all reached out to different people. And different people called us saying, we've heard that X, Y, or Z has applied in your district, and I would like to share with you what I know. And, of course, we listened. I hope, and I can speak for most everybody, I think, nobody ever said what we wanted, what our choice was. We didn't divulge that because, like I said, we were put under strict confidential rules. And so we have to respect that. And I would ask y'all to please respect the fact that we were elected officials to do this tedious job. And it's not what you call fun. It was very important to each one of us that we shared our ideas, we shared the comments that we got, we appreciated the comments, we took them for what they were worth, or we checked on them back and forth. And there's not a person up here, I don't think, that has not called somebody or spoke to somebody either out of the district or in the state. And I think Ms. Robinson, you even spoke to somebody out of state, correct?
I did.
Okay, you did. So the other candidates are good candidates. They were great candidates. And they would have all been perfect. They would have all been good. But guys, we had to make the choice. Please respect us and give us credit for what we've done. If we've made a mistake, we've made a mistake. And we'll have to deal with it and go from there. But in our best interest and in our hearts, I truly believe that the 5 of us that have voted to go with Dr. Robbins has made the best choice for our district. And he is excited from what we understand. He's excited to be here. He wants to correct those relationships. He wants to fix anything that somebody might have misunderstood. So
Okay.
I thank you, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Crosby. Any other? Okay, I just want to clarify one thing. We did receive the results of the survey. They were brought to us in executive session, so we did receive the results of both surveys, and we were able to look at those results. However, those surveys are the property of our search firm that actually did this, so we were not able to release those, but those surveys will be released probably in the next day or so. It has to come from our search firm to our district, and then our district will follow up and release those surveys in its entirety. So you'll be able to see all of the comments with the names and that kind of thing. But we were able to see those and use that in part of our decision making, as we were able to use a lot of information that Ms. Crosby alluded to that maybe some of you weren't privy to seeing, and it was because it was a personnel matter, and those are things that we do not give out, are those types of information. So just trust that we have this district, we all up here, I think every one of us, and I think I can speak for all 7 of us, we all love this district. We love our kids. We love this community. Most of us are products of this school district, and products of this community, and our families are all here, and we want nothing but the absolute best. And when we were looking at these candidates, when we chose the 9, we were looking for those 9 that were going to be the best fits. And then when we narrowed it to 3, we did exactly the same thing, and promised you that we did exactly the same thing based on information that we have when we made the nomination here for the new superintendent. So if no one, Ms. Wimberly would like to say something.
Yes, thank you. I just want to add that I agree. This is probably the biggest decision, certainly since I've been on the board, probably during the entire time I will serve on the board. I feel confident in that, and it has definitely weighed on me just like it has all of us. I have spent a great deal of time thinking about it, researching it, talking to people, just as we've all done, not sleeping, worrying. But I think 2 things that have really helped me come to peace with the decision. The first one is that, we are bringing in a new superintendent. But for those of you who have concerns about, things that you might have heard he's done in his district, things that worry you, we still are here. You have the 7 of us, and I hope that you will trust that we know what's important to this community and to our schools, our staff, our teachers, our children, and we aren't going to lose sight of that. So yes, we're asking you to trust us, but I can promise you, we are invested in his success and making sure that he understands what our vision is and what we expect and what we want for this district and for each of you out there listening and for all of our children. So that's the first piece. The second piece that honestly I kept coming back to when I was torn, because it's just a big decision, is that this is one person, and yes, Mr. Pye, his leadership and what he's done for this district it's honestly epic. But it's still one person, and yes, it's our leader. But since my children started school in this district many years ago, and especially and even more so since I've been on the board for the past year and a half, I've been in our schools, and I have had the opportunity to speak with so many of our staff, our leaders, our teachers, and my trust is in y'all. So even though this one huge change is happening and we're bringing in this one person, we still have all of our people, all of you who are out there every day making huge differences in our children's lives, and that's not changing. That's not going anywhere. So no matter who we put in our leadership position, we still have all of you, and trust me, that means a lot to me as a board member and even more as a parent, because I trust you too. I trust what you're doing. I have met with so many of you. I have had conversations. I have talked with you. You are amazing at what you do, and you are the reason that this district is so fantastic. Yes, Mr. Pye is important, and at what he has done, again, it is amazing and is incredible, but don't discount that it's also because of what's happening in our schools and the people in our schools. And to add to that, this entire community. This is an amazing community. The parent support, the family involvement, all of those pieces come together. The superintendent is one piece. And I look forward to welcoming Dr. Robbins. I look forward to working with him. I hope that we can all move forward from this and all welcome him here and all work together, be united to keep doing all the amazing things that we're already doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wimberly. Does anybody else have any other comments? Okay, so I have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor? There's 5. Opposed? 2 opposed. Okay, the motion carries. Dr. Robbins is our new superintendent. Okay, and if all of you will indulge me for just a moment, I would like to give him a quick call and just welcome him to Dorchester District 2, Summerville, South Carolina style. Oh, that didn't work. What is going on? Hold on, let me check your email. I did that. No, Dwayne, it's not the right number. Oh. Our attorney gave me the wrong number.
Shane Robbins.
Hello, Dr. Robbins. This is Gail Hughes with Dorchester District 2. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Gail?
Good, good. I just wanted to give you a quick call and congratulate you and welcome you to Dorchester District 2 as our new superintendent.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Well, I understand this has been a long and very difficult process for the board and obviously for your community, finding somebody to replace Mr. Pye after 22 years. But, if I could just quickly share, hopefully the board can hear, but, I'm both honored and very humbled, by the opportunity. It's always about service and the opportunity to serve children, staff, and, the community of Dorchester County. And so, I speak on behalf of both my wife, Heather, and myself. We just want to say thank you. And I would just end with this little saying that's meant a lot to me in my career, and that is, it takes a village to raise a child. And I'm just happy that I get to be a part of that village.
Well, thank you, Dr. Robbins. And we have quite a few people here in the audience with us tonight. So if all of y'all could join me in welcoming Dr. Robbins. Thank you, Dr. Robbins. And we're going to carry on with our meeting, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Well, I think that's all of our business to take care of tonight. So if I could have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Mr. Guthrie. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Wimberly. Any discussion? All in favor? 7-0. Thank you all very much and have a great evening.